Hi friends, this is Chandrasekhar again with the lecture on the 10th bhava. We have so far seen from Tanu bhava to the 9th bhava, that is the Dharma bhava. And we know that Kala Purusha or the time personified is mapped onto the chart. Some people think it starts from Mesh, that is Aries, and up to Pisces. Personally, my belief is that it would start from the Lagna and go on to the different bhavas. Now, we are seeing that from 6th to 9th, the Kala Purusha starts traveling below stomach and then on the lower part of it. So, 6th bhava relates to the west, 7th to Basti. Basti is you draw a straight line from navel to the sexual organs, cut it in half, and the upper portion, which is actually almost lower abdomen, goes to the 7th bhava. The guhya, the parts which are not seen, including the anal area, the sexual organs and everything, goes to the 8th bhava. Then the 9th bhava relates to uru, the thighs. In case I have not said so in the earlier lecture, so I am just reiterating the same thing. And so uru, the thighs of a person. Now this is in a way the base for the body to support everything. So dharma does support the body and the entire personality of the Jataka. Then comes the 10th bhava, about which we will be talking now, and that represents the knees of the Kala Purusha. As we have seen earlier, the Anudita and Udita, that which has already arisen, which starts from 1, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 and 7, that part is the left side of the Jataka, whereas the other part from 1 to 7 in the normal way of counting would be the part yet to be risen, which corresponds to the right side of the Jataka. So knees come under the 10th bhava as far as the the Kala Purusha comes. And it is interesting that body is, see, the entire weight of the body goes to mainly these three areas: the thighs, the knees, the legs and the feet. And see, when knees give up, you can't work. You will see arthritic people having great problems in working, though of course they work by the strength of their resolution to work and strength of mind. But this is just to give an idea of the importance of this part of it. It starts from dharma, the righteous duty, the 9th bhava, and now comes the karma, the bhava of career, or that which should be done. Not that everybody does what should be done, but this is the bhava which talks about the karma, the knees. All these are very important things for you to grow in your career, in your life. And lest we forget, this is also called the Rajya Bhava, rather it is called the throne of the king. 10th house, see, that is the area where you can rule over people, and usually in democracies, Saturn or Rahu connected with it can show electoral merit, whereas if Sun is there, it has a strange connotation. The Sun there can give authority because people think that you deserve it and it is offered to you on platter. Or the Jataka's father is a self-made man, so the father is sitting on the throne, sort of. So you understand the concept so that there is no confusion about it. Now this also happens to be the house of your spouse because it is 4th from the 7th, isn't it? Then opposite to this 10th house is the 4th house, the minimum education required for you to start a career. Now this has to be understood in the proper perspective. Because what happens is, people only look at the 10th house, and if 10th house is good, they think everything is hunky-dory. Sometimes it might not be, because for this 10th house or this 4th house to be supported, you need the dharma or the intellect. For you to be happy, you have to start thinking rationally, otherwise emotion many a times makes one see troubles or negative where there are none, and happiness where there is none, because emotions are different from the intellect. So, and this is also the apex of the Artha Trikona. We were talking about trines earlier and we have seen what supports what. So here the supporting points are the second house and the sixth house. Sixth house is hard work. Second house is your ability to speak and convey what you mean to others, and also the family. Now, both these things are supportive to the 10th bhava. And so nowadays it is called the resources of the second house to be used on 10th bhava, but I would make it very clear, these are the things, if they are good, then you are. So influences from second and sixth will also have some impact on the 10th bhava, because generally planets in trines aspect and also not aspect actually, they influence each other. They influence and they can modify things. So this is the 10th bhava, this is the most important bhava, because this is what talks about our karma, and in ideal situation the righteous karma. That again is why one of the most important yogas is the Dharma Karmadhipati yoga. That is, Lord of the Dharma Sthana, the 9th house, the duties, the righteous duties, and the 10th house, the karma that actually happens on ground. When they come together, that means when a karma is done in a righteous way, the person is bound to grow. And so it is called as Dharma Karmadhipati yoga. Its connotation is, it is said that that person will start form his own rules in some area of work that he undertakes. And so you have to understand that karma without dharma will not always give long-term results. And this is also one of the strongest amongst the kendra. There are 4 kendras. Kendras means squares. So 1, 4, 7, 10 is the kendra. And the ascending order is from 1, then 4. Dharma, you do your duties, which is good, that is the base. Then a feeling of safety and your education, your career, then desires. And then the most important thing in a person's life is the 10th house, the karma. He has to do his righteous karma that he must do, or rather he can do perfectly for him to grow in life. Once he does that, then he has accumulated wealth in the second house. Second house is, as we have seen earlier, is the house of accumulated wealth. He can also help or support his family because he is doing something, so he earns, he can save money. He has to work hard for that. So thinking that because my karma sthana is good, I will automatically get something, I will have a great career. Forgive me for removing that sort of a curtain from your eyes. See, that is illusion, that only because there are good planets in the 10th house, a person will have a great career. Not necessarily so, unless he does the righteous duty at the right time. Sometimes the family also supports with that, but it is the hard work specifically. Because 6th is the 9th from the 10th power. So what is the dharma of the karma is the 6th house. Working hard, whatever you do, whatever career you undertake, should work hard. And of course the karaka, there is a lot of difference in opinion about what is the karaka for the 10th bhava. Parashara only says that it is only Mercury who is the karaka for 10th bhava, but other learners have said that no, even Sun is karaka for 10th bhava, Jupiter is karaka for 10th bhava, Saturn is karaka for, and if you ask me, I would think every planet is a karaka for 10th bhava. Every planet can indicate the work that that person does. That planet's influence will change the way that person will do and what he should do. Because that all these planetary positions show your resources, isn't it? So 10th Lord, then some learners say that 10th Lord himself can indicate what would be the career of the person. Some are of the opinion that the Navansha Lord of the 10th Lord is indicative of the career of a person. For me, I would look at influences on 10th house. It is not necessary that 10th house must contain a planet. We have to understand this. This 10th house Lord, his placement at some place can also indicate the same thing. The Navansha Lord and the strength of the 10th Lord also can show what sort of work this guy can perform, he can do. And So this is one of the very important part. Otherwise, people have a tendency of thinking that if somebody doesn't have anything in the 10th house, any planet in the 10th house or even aspecting 10th house, then that person is not going to do anything. Please don't be under that impression. We are talking about bhavas, they represent something, and influences on those bhavas, the strength of that lord of that bhava gives certain resources to the Jataka. Now, whether it is to be used or not, if you ask me, I would say, yeah, that free will he does possess. So, it's not a very good thing to go on, blaming our planets or whatever for our misery. We should think whether we have done our duty properly. If we have done our duty properly, in time to come, some sort of recognition or other can come to us. And for those who are more interested in politics and what happens to the nations and the leaders, look at that, not only the 10th house, influences on the 10th house. And influences also can come from trine position. Planets in trine position, that is second in sixth, can also be indicative of what is likely to happen to the 10th house. So I'll keep this short because what happens is many a times, we go on talking about things and sometimes we do not understand that we are deviating from the subject. That happens more for people of my age. And yeah, before I forget, the 10th house is also house of honor. It is called as the Manasthan, the house of honor. Now, how honor will come to you, it is very obvious. If you do your righteous duties properly, honor will come to you. It is also called the house of reputation. Because honor and reputation, I need not tell what is the linkage between the two. The two are linked. So, malefics aspecting there can also indicate a possibility of loss of reputation to that person. Because 10th house is house of reputation. So, any malefic there or aspecting it can indicate, it is not necessary, it could also indicate some problem to the knees. So, for that you will have to look at the 5th and the 9th bhava of the Jataka again to find out how he will be using those resources, whether he will use them in the way that he is supposed to use them properly in a righteous manner, which will be indicated by 9th bhava, and without emotion, with clean thought, with a clarity of thought, which will be indicated by the 5th bhava. As we have seen that 5th bhava can give you intellect, which means you don't think about look at things emotionally, you also think it over and then come to a conclusion. So, and one very important thing for those religiously inclined, see, many a times people think that Rahu is a bad planet, isn't it? Because he is called the illusion maker, he is called the Phanindra, the snake, the great snake, so poison and whatnot, and categorized as a Papagraha. But Rahu in the 10th house also indicates visit to places of pilgrimage. This one should not forget. Now, why it could be? Because he creates an illusion that this person will not do it, but he is actually intending to do it. Remember that 10th bhava is the second bhava from the 9th, which is the bhava of the religion or your duties. And so, it might not be apparent to a person that this person will be religiously inclined and do the rituals which are required to be done according to his religion at the place where that society or that culture or that religion thinks is a place of pilgrimage from his normal behavior, but that person would do it. That is because also it is wealth of the father and emancipation is the wealth of the father. That is what is generally thought by Hindu. So remember that Rahu intent does not necessarily always mean doing some underhand things or something which is complex. Rahu there can also indicate that a person can work well with foreigners, because Rahu represents foreigners or those of very low caste, in the caste system of Hindus. And so planets in the 10th house can also indicate with whom you can be comfortable working. You will be very comfortable working with X type of people. We have got 5 stages coming from Brahmana to the Antyaj, the last of the caste, which is allotted to the planets, and when you read about planets, you will understand that. So planets there can indicate to you many things. It is throne of the king, and so naturally if the lord of the 10th house goes to Lagna, or if lord of the Lagna comes to the 10th house, Lagna means ascendant, if I mean those who are from the western part of the world and may not understand what is Lagna, it is ascendant. So these exchange are there. Sitting in the 10th house, the Lagna lord can indicate that the person will gain reputation because of his dint of his own efforts. Always remember that. And that also means that if we work hard, we will eventually get recognition. Many a times youngsters get nervous or upset that they are not getting due recognition. So remember that if Lord of the 10th is in the 12th house, which is the house of expenditure, then it is quite possible that he may not get recognition though he works. See, instead of that, somebody else will be recognized for work that this guy has put in. Such people should better go to distant lands or to different culture, and that is the place where their recognition happens. The work that they do is recognized in the distant land. So having said that, my friends, I think this is enough for today. The lecture goes on, and then I see it is now something like 16 minutes and 21 seconds and odd, which is a long time. You have been patient. The the viewers are growing. I saw something like 1300 odd today with some 89 subscriptions. That is very kind of you, and do go on telling me if you need to know something on some subject about me, because after 2 lectures Bhava will be over and we will be going to some different lecture. And if there is something that is not clear, never hesitate to tell me. I take it as a welcome step. I also understand that if people are, whether they are criticizing or whether they are praising, that means they are listening to what I am saying. And this YouTube channel that I have created is only for astrologers to learn from and to look at astrology from a different perspective. So dear friends, Chandrasekhar signing off again, and we will meet in the next lecture on the 11th bhava, which also interests people because it is bhava of profit. And so till then, goodbye.